So I just got my package through from Mad About Horror. I ordered this a little while ago, sort of a little birthday treat for myself. And it's from a company called Mad About Horror. Now they're a British-based horror themed company that sort of sell things like Trick or Treat Studios products, Neca products, as well as sort of like some Halloween stuff. They're really good little companies. So if you want to check those out, there's the little website address there. And you're in the UK, obviously, it's a great to support homegrown stuff. So check those out. But I'm going to open this package now and you're going to see what I've bought. So as I said, this was a little birthday treat to myself. Now obviously I've covered up here, this is just to stick over there because I don't really want everyone knowing where I live. Although I don't mind, I know you're not going to come around and do anything silly, but you get nervous sometimes, don't you? You know, but anyway, we're going to open this up now. Run the blade down there. I've got to try and be careful because I know that something in here could get caught, but I don't want to damage anything. Sorry about that. Just open up there. Open up there. So Mad About Horror, yeah, they're a British company, and they do a lot of the American stuff there, a lot of the props and replicas stuff that you get from like Neca and Mad About and Trick or Treat Studios. They sell a lot of that stuff over in the UK. It's a good place to get it. And when you buy from these guys, you know you're getting the real stuff. I years ago bought a Neca figure from Amazon. It was a ghost face, and it turned out to be a fake, which really annoyed me because as soon as I got it and opened it, I knew exactly what it was. So I opened it up. What's it say? Handle with care. Oh, that's nice. See, that's not. I like that. I like the little handle with care, little sticker on there. So I've got to be careful I don't show my address here at any point. Just turn that over. So what they do in these companies, which I love, they always send you, every time you purchase something from them, they send you a little art card. And it could be any, they have like these designs, every series they have like different designs, and every time you order them you get one card. So who have I got? Oh, Bela Lugosi's Dracula. That's really cool. It's obviously different vampires. I would have liked, obviously, David from The Lost Boys, because that is a film I have adored since watching it. But still, that is another good one. Actually, any of those would have been really good. But you get these little nice little art cards, limited edition ones. And I said, every time you order, you get different ones. And I've got a Jason one somewhere from previous orders, and I've got another, a Chucky one somewhere. But yeah, that is, I like that. So there's that there. We obviously don't want to show that because that's going to probably have my address on it as well. Oh no, it doesn't, just gets their address on it. They're from Yorkshire apparently, and it does have my address on it, so good job, didn't you? Right, so here we go. This is what I've ordered myself. Now I do like the Neca figures, and this is a Neca, and that was quite good packaging as well. I mean, it's not got any damage to it, so it's also done well. In a cool little box. We'll put the box down there. So this is what I bought. So I'm a massive fan of these Neca figures. I love the detail on them. I love the fact they're horror based. I'm a big horror guy. I do love my horror films. I love my iconic horror movie stuff. So I thought, Joe, I'm going to try and get my Neca collection up to sort of like scratch. And I have bought myself a Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street figure. I've gone for Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Now that is actually possibly one of my favourite films. Top 3 Freddy films, definitely. But I like the image of Freddy in this movie. And I'll show you why in a second. So if we open this up here. These always have these little like flappy bits where you go up to see what's inside. Look at that. That is mad. So I like this version of Freddy mainly because I like the fact he has a glove in this one. It's not the finger needles like in number 2. And you've got like different types of gloves. Oh my god. So what we've got here is based on scenes from the movie. So we've got Freddy looking his awesome self. He's got his fedora there. And he's got his normal gloves. So that's probably how I'm going to keep him looking. So I like this image. But we've also got the little version of Freddy. I don't know if you can see it there from the movie. Because the scene where there's like a puppet of Freddy that comes alive. You've got him with the chest of souls. So you can change over his front there and put this chest of souls on. Where you can see that there's all different like souls screaming, trying to get out. You've got the house the girl was making, which is a look of Nancy's house in the original movie. And you've got these versions of the glove. Now, I don't know if you can see those. These versions of the glove. So when he fights the ex-junkie girl, he puts like needles, syringe, like with obviously drugs into him and stabs him into her. And it's a really sort of sick, iconic scene. And here we've got him with a crucifix burned into his head. Because that's how they sort of stop him near the end. But oh, this is brilliant. And I love, like, so my favourite Freddy films, obviously the first one because it's iconic. I love number 3 because I think it carries on from the first one more. Number 2 is a really weird, different type of a movie. Still with Freddy in it and stuff, but the way they played it out was very different. It didn't really make sense. And obviously, this is going to be a controversial one. I like Freddy's Dead. And I've always loved Freddy's Dead because like that's the film that kind of got me into it. It was the first Krueger film that kind of like came out marketing wise that I remember seeing. And I thought Freddy's Dead was brilliant at the time. I can understand why people don't like it so much now, but I thought it was brilliant. So here we go, some more pictures on the back of it. The side that is sick. Nightmare on Elm Street. Neca Real Toys. So we'll have a little open it up. I'll pause the video for a second. So I'm pausing it. So I'm going to open it up from the bottom. I always do the Neca Toys from box. I like to keep the boxes, even though I don't use the boxes. So I like to display. I'm an out of packaging guy. But I like to keep the boxes. So if I ever did want to resell, or if I ever did want to like package them away, or like if I move house and I have to move everything out of the way, then I can put them back in the boxes to protect them. Because obviously the packaging, I don't know what I call clamshell, but the packaging around the outside, the plastic stuff, actually secures them in. And this is really hard to open. It's that where the cardboard sort of like's got hooked on the other side of the packaging. I can't get you out. See if that helps to lever it out. There we go. So there's that open. Let's open up the right way so nothing falls out. Again, I love this image as well of the Dream Warriors sort of going into battle. Now this is not what they look like in the movie 100%, but it's kind of thing. So the idea is that a load of these kids get together and they've got dream powers, like they can control their dreams to a slight amount as well. To sort of fight Freddy, sort of form like almost like an Avengers type group. Oh my bloody god, that is epic. I love that. I mean, the textured detail. Look at the textured detail on the suit there. I hope you can see that as well as I can. Look at that. And the faces. Do you know what? I wonder if that... I like this screaming face, but if I could use the fedora to cover that up, that might look quite good. See, this is Chris. Let's get this little dude out first. Look at that. So that's the puppet version of Freddy, because one of the guys, he does a lot of like puppet making. And the puppet version of Freddy, and Harry kills the guy, is disgusting. Well, he uses his veins like puppet strings and drags them along the place. Trying to make sure I don't get that blurred for you. Ah, there we go. Oh, I don't know if it's going to work. But yeah, it's also got a blood stain, so it makes it so it can stand up. Oh, that's going to need a bit of work to get that to stand up. It's not going to stand up, because it looks like this leg is kind of folded in a little bit. Probably where it's got heat. I don't want to put it too hard, because that looks like the type of plastic that will break if I start playing with it. But a little bit of blue tack would help stand that up. What else have we got in here? So this is the... So I'm guessing you can take off the original one and put this over the top. But this is the Souls plate. Sorry if I'm trying to get you in focus without my hand. I think it's something to do with your hand or something like that. There you go. Look. So you can see the people screaming inside there. These little faces on the rip jumper. Because at one point she rips his jumper down. And it reveals this. But I like, look, this bit here, this is what I like about Neca, the detail. Look at the... I'll try and do that again. Look at the detail on that jumper there. That is brilliant. And the tattiness. So it clips in like that. So I guess you take off the other one and pop it off and then put this one on. I'm not going to put this one on, but it's still a good piece to have because that looks twisted as hell. I want to keep him as Freddy as I know and love Freddy. That's the figure. I look for all the Freddy figures. And the original Nightmare on Elm Street one, he doesn't have the striped sleeves. And even though originally he didn't have them, I like the fact he's got them. And I always like that sort of look. This is the look of Freddy I said that I like the most. Let's get the little house out. So here's the like paper mache house that the girl was making in the movie. I think she used like lollipop sticks as like for the windows and stuff like that. The ball on the windows. But this is great. I love the detail. That is good. I do like this. Alright, let's have a look at one of these hands. So this is the... I mean, again, I'm not going to be using these hands, but it's good to have them. Because it was such an important part of the movie. Like in that scene, because that scene, oh, it's got like a base thing over the top of it. That's stuck down. Oh, no, it's stuck down from this side. Oh, no, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, here we go. Let's sellotape up here. That would help, wouldn't it? I like to watch unboxings where they show the whole unboxing. When they sort of cut and they go, oh, here it is out of the packaging. I like to see people get out of the packaging because sometimes it's fiddly as hell. And I'm glad I'm not the only one that struggles. So this is his hand there. Can you see the hypodermic needles? So in the movie, sort of like he drugs the girl and then he sort of like he gets to the girl when he's fighting. And he gets a needle and sticks him in her and pumps her full of drugs, or he overdoses her and kills her. But that is so cool. And then we've got the gloved version of the hand here. with the hypodermic needles. It's like a bloody spotlight, isn't it? Oh, trying to get this focused again. Yeah, that is really cool. And then we'll get out the face here. So this is the face because they got whack a crucifix on him at one point. I think they use his bones, his body bones. They put the crucifix on him. But that, look at that. I mean, that is Robert England, isn't it? I mean, the detail on this. I'm trying to get so you can see it as well without it blurring focus. But look at that. We look inside the mouth. That's like, that's insane. Like the teeth as well. He's looking up. The burns on him. Back of his... Why is that like that? What's that about? Does it light up? Oh, you can shine a light through the back of it. Hang on. So disaster is slightly struck because I've literally just broken my stand. It's down there. It's the back, as I went to adjust it, the back snapped. So anyway, we're back to this now. I have got a light, and if you watch this, look, see that as that shines up. How amazing is that? So the Freddy, I'll try not to blind you. It sort of lights up if you put a light behind it, and even look, that is cool. How freaky is that? I'm trying not to blind you people. I'm sorry. But look, look, look. And it shines up that crucifix through just like it does in the movie when they get him. It's all done because of that patch there. It's obviously glowing. That's such a cool feature. Now I'm trying to work out why I'm going to display this like this. Because this is genius. Wow, I am sorry if I'm blinding anyone in this video, but look. And you can see it without the... Well, anyway, there's a light, but you should cover it up. And it... That is so clever. As a design piece, I'm just focusing on my fingers. That is genius. And again, if you put it... Oh God, drop the light. If you put it closer... Stay. Stay. Rolling. It can actually even like sort of like a I'm burning up sort of thing. That is brilliant. Now I'm going to try and find a different stand. So now I've got like a lower down stand, so it's got to be a bit more uptight in your face. But there we go. Look at that. So that's Freddy in now. Obviously we'll pop out his fedora. Now look at that. Look at the detail on that. That is such a cool thing. Look, see that little marks on the hat, the damages, little folds and creases. It's on the front. This is brilliant, look at that. So that can go over there now. So now we're going to get Freddy out. Now I have already cut off the little plasticky bit there. I've cut that bit off already. I did that while I was trying to work out what I was going to do about not having a stand. I'm going to try and get them out. So this is the, I always worry that I'm going to break them as I get them out, because Neca figures are famously not toys to play with. They are more like movable statues and posable statues, I suppose. Please don't break. So I always have this fear of when I pop them out that I'm going to snap a finger or snap an arm off or something. But here we go. So there is Freddy Krueger in his glory. I mean, look at the face sculpt on that. That is evil, incarnate looking. Look at this. Again, no brain bit there because he's not going to light up. But I like the sloped shoulders. That's cool. It's almost like me, so I've broke the collarbone, so my shoulder naturally dips down like that anyway. And the look at the glove. Look at the detail in that glove on the inside there. Try and show it. There you go, look inside the glove there. Look at that. So his hands all scarred up as well. And the jumper is like tatty and damaged. So I'm guessing you can sort of pop off this section here to replace it with the other one. Yeah, you can see it sort of moves there. So that will pop off, and then you put on that one over the top instead if you want to. But look at his hand there, look. Oh, you can sort of like get, it's got a bit of motion and movement to it. Now he's very stiff because he's been out, because my postman left it outside. So it's obviously cold out here in England at the minute. But look at that. I mean, he stands quite cool. I'm going to try and get me some really creepy sort of pose. Stands pretty well. Now, does the hat go on alright? That's the important part. So I've still got this bloody light on, hang on. Does the hat go on alright? Oh yeah, so you get a bit of a shove on. I mean, that's the Freddy we'll know and love, right? That is what you want from a Freddy Krueger figure. Look at that. I'm sorry if it's like the focus keeps going because it's trying to focus on something from the background. And I quite like the idea of sort of like sloping it down a little bit like that. More of a, but you can sort of move it around, have it wherever you want on the head, really. But to me, it's got to be on there as like proper prime Krueger. So you can replace the hands, put these ones on instead. That'll go on there like that. If you want the needle hands on both, you want to recreate that scene, that's up to you. I'm not going to do that, but I'm just going to keep these anyway. You can put the soles on there to make it really twisted. I might try and do it. Give me 1 second. I hope I don't do anything silly with it, but so yeah, pops off that one, and you've got that underneath. That looks a bit bizarre, doesn't it? To be honest with you. And then you can slip on this version if you want, and that goes on and clips on like that. So then you've got Freddy with his like souls, tortured souls. I suppose you bent his arm up, you can have him sort of touching it, like. But yeah, so you have that one. But I'm going to go back to having the proper one on there. I like my figures to look like they do in the movies, like the majority of the time, like especially if I've got character figures. So I've got like Chucky one up there already. I've got like a few other little characters I've got so far, because I do want to build this collection. That pops on now, and he's back to being Freddy. I like that. So there you have it. There is the Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Freddy Krueger from Neca. If you're interested in getting, obviously you can go to Mad About Horror. They are a British-based horror merchandise company. Try and show the label. There you go. So that's where you can find. There's a website on there. I might put a link on it if I can remember, but I never remember to put the link in descriptions. I try my best to try and remember, but I don't. And you might get yourself a free little art card as well. But anyway, yeah, so it is a good place to go get your horror stuff and that. Now I'm going to display this. I kind of, because I've got somewhere about a metal sign of that. We've just got that, we've got a metal plate with that image on it. So I might try and find that, make it the backdrop and then put him in front of it. That would look quite cool. I'll try and figure out a way to stand this one, because again, I might use a bit of heat gun, try and bend that leg out a bit so it stands up, or just get a little tiny little dollop of blue tack and he should stand up perfectly. I want that house next to him as well, so I think that'll look quite cool. And I've got to work out how to do something with that, because that, the fact that it lights up for it is genius. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to look at any more of my videos, there's like a few other unboxings I've got on here. Plus I've got a lot of movie stuff. It's all movie based stuff on my channel anyway. But thank you for watching. And get yourself to Mad About Horror if you want this sort of stuff. And enjoy the rest of your day. And don't have nightmares. Bye.